Hey girl, are your healthy habits all over the place or non-existent? Do you wish you could find true food freedom, move your body for joy, and really just talk a little nicer to yourself? If you have tried to habit hack your health, but the strategies you've tried just haven't worked for you in your busy lifestyle, then this podcast is for you. Hey, I'm Emily Nichols, habit and fitness coach, behavior change specialist, and Taco Tuesday enthusiast. Hey, I am here to tell you there is an easier way than what we've been taught about our health and our habits. How do I know? Well, because I've transformed my own life through habit hacking, and now my family gets the best of me, and I now help my clients do the same. I'm now going to teach you how to create healthy habits in less time, guilt-free for all seasons of your life. It's not your fault your habits haven't worked, my friend. We just have to do them differently. So, are you ready to feel empowered and transform your habits and life? Then let's do this. You're listening to episode 212 of Habit Hack Your Health. Hey friend, welcome back to the show. Y'all, I have become known as the habit hacker, okay? I am known for my habit hacks. We are known for habit loops and habit hacking here on the show and all of my programming. So I thought, you know what, we're gonna change the name of the show to Habit Hack Your Health. It makes so much more sense. And in this journey of having this show for over 3 years now and watching the evolution of just starting with like, hey, this is all about self-care. We want to take care of ourselves, to creating some habit hacking systems that are transforming people's lives. Like, I am here for it. And that's what life is all about, right? We're always talking about here on the show, we're training for life. We have these habit hacks in place, and self-transform still has a big place in my heart. And we are giving you the tools to have your own transformation. But you know what? It's all part of evolution. We're always transforming. We're always evolving. So nothing's changing about the show. I just thought I'm going to change the name. Like I said, in all reality, the name doesn't matter. You're showing up week after week, and I'm proud of you for that. So you'll probably notice a little changes here and there. Probably no one will notice it that much more than me, but that's the direction we're going, and I'm here for it. So let's talk about today's show. So we talk a ton about the habit loop, right? Inside of all the accelerators, that is like big time habit strategy, right? So if this is your first time listening, so what I would recommend is go take my free masterclass, The Healthy Habit Reset, okay? That is like habit strategy 101. If you're like, where do I start? Start there. Okay. If you need next level help, that is where the accelerators come into place. So that is where we take that basic habit strategy that we teach you and insert atomic habits for women on top of that, right? Where we're really digging deeper into mindset, movement, or food freedom, those basic healthy fundamental needs, and the challenges we have around them, but from a female perspective, right? We could talk all day long, like, yeah, we need to like eat lots of protein. We need to move our body. We need to talk nicer to ourselves. But there's a lot of complications that come into play with being a busy working mom and a female in general. So we uncover a lot of that together in the habit hacking system we teach inside of each of the accelerators, but a big part of it is habit loops. There's over 60 habit loops included inside of the accelerators to help you start getting that strategy and that momentum going. But when we talk about a habit loop, right, it is a cue, routine, reward. Okay, this is just basic habit strategy for you. However, reward, that last step, is where a lot of women, my clients, my girls, are like, what do I do for that? That's the trickiest part. And if you want to learn more about a habit loop and how to create it, you can go grab the Healthy Habits cheat sheet. It's free. It's bit.ly/Healthy Habits cheat sheet. It's always linked in the show notes for you to go learn about habit loops. And I include a ton of different habit examples in there for you, of course, focused around mindset, movement, and food freedom. But when we do start a new habit, we have to be super aware of creating rewards. Well, when we have an unconscious habit, that reward we don't have to think about. So let's give you an example. So brushing your teeth, the cue is usually like you have a routine. You don't even think about it because it's an unconscious habit, right? Your cue is, okay, I get out of the shower, I brush. That's my cue. The routine is I brush my teeth. Reward on the other side is I have great dental hygiene. Boom, right? You don't even have to think about it. But it feels awkward and unnatural when we're starting a new habit to be like, okay, I'm going to reward myself for working out. And a lot of times it can feel very superficial. It can feel hokey. Or, as women, we're not ones to like pump ourselves up and talk nice about ourselves. We'll do that for everybody else, right? But we have to dig deep into that reward. That way you have that motivation to keep going with that habit. Okay, if you're really doing the habit and not sitting back to think about how does this make me feel? How can I reward myself for doing said habit? It will not stick. Okay, it will not stick. Now, we have to be careful when we're thinking about rewards. Sometimes we set a okay, for 21 days, I'm going to track, that I'm going to HotWorks 4 days a week, and I'm tracking it. At the end of the month, I am going to buy the biggest. I'm going to go on a big trip, right? That's usually what it is, right? It's like I'm going to go on a big trip. That is my reward for working so hard. Well, a lot of times that habit can trigger the reward can trigger that the habit's done. Right? The habit's done then. And this episode, Gretchen Rubin is a great mentor of mine. She doesn't know it, but she is. I love her podcast, listen to a lot of her books. The 4 Tendencies quiz, we actually use that inside of each of the accelerators to understand what motivates you as far as your habits go. But in her book, Better Than Before, she gives a really good explanation of why we have to be careful with our habits so it doesn't trigger that the habit is done. So let me explain. Then we'll talk about the types of rewards and when you should reward yourself. So in her book, Better Than Before, Gretchen Rubin says, rewarding our good habits can be dangerous. That's because earning the reward can mark the finish line. She says once we get the reward, we might give up the habit. So like I said, you're working out hard for a month because your reward is going on vacation. How's that going to help motivate you from there on out, right? Or, she continues, we might decide the reward isn't worth it and just bail on the habit. Bye, we're not doing it anymore. We might think, I don't really care about taking a nice bath tonight, so I'm skipping my run today. Okay? The reward can reframe something we want to do into something we have to do. Otherwise, why should we get a reward, right? We want to do it other than we have to do it. And sometimes we choose rewards that just don't make sense. We might think, I cut my expenses way back. I budgeted all month, so now I deserve to splurge. Well, that kind of goes against everything you just did working so hard. So a reward that takes you deeper into your habit, you are even more bought into that habit now. So let me say that again. So if you create a reward that takes you even deeper into the habit, that habit you'll be so much more bought in, and that habit it'll be solid. It'll stick. But if the reward isn't tied into the habit, it's very likely that could trigger you to not do the habit anymore, to feel like you are having to do it, and just that the habit is done because you earned whatever reward that isn't tied to that habit. So let's talk about a few different types of rewards. We'll, of course, frame this around movement, food freedom, and mindset, okay? And we'll talk about the reward cycle to help you do this. So here's some examples for a reward for movement. Okay, I know you felt this way before too. You start a new healthy habit routine and you find a good flow, but then life gets in the way and you find yourself in a new season of life and that healthy habit routine just isn't working for you now. Instead of just giving up, join me for the next live Healthy Habit Reset Masterclass on August 15th, 16th, and 17th at 12 p.m. Eastern. So this is Basic Habit Strategy 101 if you're not sure where to start with your healthy habits with a heavy dose of Atomic Habits for women. You'll learn the simple 5-step habit change method I only share in this masterclass, where I take the overwhelm and confusion out of health and teach you how to reset your habits for whatever season of life you are in. Okay, and I know what you're thinking. Well, how long is this going to take? I know your time is precious, so each session will be just 20 minutes, and replays will be sent out with a workbook to help you take action so it won't take up a ton of your time. So go to bit.ly/free reset masterclass to sign up and reserve your spot. I'll see you at the next Healthy Habit Reset Live. I'm so pumped to see you there. Okay, let's get back to the show. A new yoga mat, a new workout clothes, or a fitness tracker. Maybe you get a fitness tracker from the shop, for example. Okay, that takes you deeper into whatever movement habit you're doing. Like this one, for example, is yoga. A reward for food freedom. You get flowers for yourself while at the store. At the grocery store, you get yourself flowers or from your pickup order. We talk a lot about pickup orders inside of the Accelerator because I got to save some time, right? You get a new kitchen gadget or towels for your kitchen. You eat out at a place with healthy options. Okay, that's taking us deeper into our food freedom habits. And then lastly, a reward for mindset, a new journal and pens, a fun book to read. I've been really digging deep into fun books this year. And a special tea that you make every night to help you feel nice and cozy before you go to bed. That's like one of my favorite habits that I taught myself back in 2015, and I still do it. I love it. So those type of rewards take you deeper into either that movement, food freedom, or mindset habit. Okay? I hope that makes sense to you. Thinking about what reward is going to help me buy into this habit even more. Okay. And these are some examples where like you have to like go out and like get something on Amazon or run to the store and get it. But it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way. Okay. Lastly, when should you reward yourself? So we talk about the 21-90 rule a lot. It takes 21 days to form a habit, 90 days for it to feel like a lifestyle. But a typical cycle could be a 21-day cycle, right? So the first week, you get one of the items I referred to as your reward. The second week, you lean more into the feeling. Maybe you're tracking how these habits make you feel, and that is the reward, like leaning into those feelings, right? The third week, maybe you tell a friend what you have done and how proud you are of yourself. Like, girl, I have stuck to going to Hot Works 2 days a week all this month or the past 3 weeks, and I'm just so excited. And your girl is going to be like, yes, girl, pumping you up. And that doesn't feel natural, I know, but that's going to help you step outside your comfort zone. And you saying you're proud of yourself, honestly, is going to inspire other people to tell themselves they're proud of themselves too. So the reward doesn't have to be big, right? It can be going out and getting something. It can be just leaning into that feeling. It can get some extra accountability and inspire other people at the same time. But this is really personal to you, okay? It can really help motivate you to keep going. So lean into the feelings of the rewards. Have the rewards be tied in so specific to that new habit and habit loop that you are doing, that you are so bought into this habit. Then after about 21 days, like, you don't need to reward yourself anymore. Like you are feeling it. You're feeling it. The habit is not so hard anymore. It's now an unconscious behavior. So when you don't feel motivated, like for example, I'm not motivated to work out every day. Believe it or not, I am not motivated to work out every day, but I know how good I'm going to feel on the other side because I have really leaned into the feeling that I get from moving my body. So I'm like, all right, girl, get up and get moving. You're going to feel so awesome on the other side. And that is my reward. Okay, so I hope this cleared up and maybe got the juices flowing for you a little bit more. about the reward cycle. We'll be talking about different variations of rewards inside of the accelerator group. So when you get an accelerator, you come inside of our Facebook community where each week I do live office hours to help you habit hack anything that you're doing, or I just kind of riff what I'm kind of feeling based on the podcast this week, but also exclusive content. So we'll be talking a little bit more about the reward cycle this week because I think this is a hard part of the habit loop that is very super important, but tricky for us as women. Okay, so everything I mentioned is linked in the show notes. Let me know if this is helpful. This is a little bit of next level habit strategy, and I am here for it, my friends. So have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch up with you later this week. Hey girl, real quick before you go, did you know I have a secret podcast where I talk all about why most habit strategies don't work for us women? Spoiler alert, it's not our fault. Visit bit.ly/atomic habits for women. It's linked in the show notes to access my secret podcast series and have your biggest aha moment about why and how women have to do habits differently. And if you love the podcast, the number one way you can thank me is to leave a rating and review in iTunes. That way more mamas can find the show. Love and appreciate you, friend. We'll see you next time.